We need to get to Steph Curry and what he did in the Bay last night. The Dubs, they were riding a 3-game losing streak. Remember, that is until Steph Curry got cooking. All right, we're going to pick this one up in the closing seconds of the second quarter. The Warriors down one here. This is what Steph does. Pulls up the three plus the foul. Steph Curry, he's loving it in this one. And then the Warriors up one in this one in the third quarter. Curry, once again, you know that's good. He had 26 points, Janae, through 3 quarters in this one.
My goodness, you know those games where he's just feeling it? We got some of those classics, and I think it's coming up soon, where he hits the shot, turns around, and, it's like, oh, did that go in? Yeah, it definitely did. But right here is what makes him great. His no fear to attack the rim. Watch this pick and roll, slicing and dicing. It was his night. And that's what I'm talking about.
Golden State started to run away with it. Steph Curry, he says, yeah.
It's a problem when he's talking to himself.
I feel like I can't say I'm him anymore because everyone's saying it.
Correct. But he is the original him.
Yeah, Steph
Golden State
gets it to Clay there. The Warriors once again getting out in transition here. Jonathan Kuminga putting on the exclamation point. Golden State, they get the win, 121-115. Just a little bit of chalet for Steph Curry there. The Warriors, they continue to go as Steph goes, right? They improved to 11-3 this season when he scores at least 30. That's in sharp contrast to their 5-12 record when he scores under 30. So the numbers, they seem to make it pretty clear as we say hello to Kendrick Perkins. The Warriors, they go with Steph go. But with the offensive load that he's being asked to shoulder, we saw this earlier in the season, right? Steph was putting up lights out numbers. They were winning. How far do you think Curry can carry the Warriors?
I believe their ceiling is the first round exit. A first round exit. And look, let me say this. If the Warriors are going to rely on Steph Curry to score 30 in order for them to have a chance of winning a regular season game, they are in trouble. They've been in trouble. And so it just goes to show you the lack of inconsistency when it comes down to players like Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson. Last night, what I saw Steph Curry saying, here, I'm not deferring to nobody. I'm not waiting on anybody else to get off. I'm going to take this game in my hands because it's a sense of urgency and we need to win this ball game. The thing is that Steph knows that they can't fall too far behind the 8 ball in this tough Western Conference. So if the same energy that we keep for LeBron James, and I know LeBron James is older, we have to keep that same energy for Steph, and it's good energy, meaning somebody else has to step up consistently.
I can't disagree with anything Perk just said. Look, the Western Conference is so loaded that as great as Steph is, we still saw that what he's played, had 14 games of 30 or more, but he's had 17 games under 30. So how sustainable is this? It's great to watch, but can they even get through the play-in? That's what we're talking about. Malika doesn't want to hear this, I know. Yes, that's a problem, and you have to have some contributions you need. Look, Klay has been better. We're getting Klay Thompson, the real Klay Thompson, and physically, how sustainable is that? Kuminga, what contributions are we talking about? What happens when Draymond Green comes back? There are a lot of factors in play that could all tip in Golden State's favor. But to ask Steph to do this, I'd say one round they could upset somebody in the first round, but that's what it would be.
But you just mentioned, Michael, the biggest factor, and it's Klay Thompson. I know the highlights are Steph Curry, his points. Can he carry his team with 30 points? The reality is that they need those contributions, and they got them. 7 players in double figures. But the real highlight actually happened after the game because Klay Thompson mentioned a key conversation he had with Steve Kerr. And he said, hey, he told me I should not be focused on the stats, on the numbers, on the All-Stars. I should focus on enjoying this last chapter. And what did that amount in? One of the best defensive performances we've seen where Klay answered the call.
Yeah.
Watch these plays right here. Fighting under a screen, going up against Banchero, being big, being physical, and forcing a short shot. Again, we see more plays. Look how active he is. He's locked in. He's dialed in. This is Warriors basketball. It's not the points. It's not who gets the credit. It's who does the dirty work. And that conversation created a great performance for Klay, which inspired his teammates, which helped Steph Curry, which got them a win. That's their recipe. Steph, get him the ball, let him cook, but everyone else play that textbook Warrior defense and contribute the way we know strength in numbers truly is.
I think it's also the mood of the team and how much his energy affects them.
Yeah.
I mean, he talked pretty eloquently about the conversation he had with Steve Kerr, where he said, he made me understand how much my negative energy affects the rest of the team. That I can't, it's not just about my stats and my hitting shots and my making my field goals. It's about my energy and being a mentor to some of the younger players. And if you'll allow me to mix some metaphors between sports here, like my college softball coach, he always used to say, like, you can't hit a 5-run home run. Okay? Gripping the bat tighter is not going to make you hit it farther.
Right.
And all season long, when you watch Klay Thompson, he's just gripping that bat too tight.
Right.
Like, he's just trying too hard because he's trying so hard to get back to the level that he was, to that way they were. And when he just relaxes and plays defense like he did against Banchero, he had 15 points last night. He had a couple of good stops.
Going back to those conversations, these are flashback to Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Steve's had these conversations. He's been on the other end of these conversations, whether it was him with Phil Jackson or a teammate with Phil that he observed. And so it's interesting. You get to that time of year. We talk about, yes, this is the ultimate players league. But if people don't think that great coaching elevates a team that can help in these subtle ways that the Warriors have, particularly that whole, I don't want to use the phrase last dance, but yes, enjoy this last stretch, whatever it is, to get Klay to realize that and to sort of to reach that point and touch that nerve. We may look back on that, and that you're so right about that, Shanae, as a point that is a turning point for the Warriors.
So the Lakers, they're just 3-8 since winning the in-season tournament thanks to a bottom third defense. It's giving up the most made three-pointers in the league at this time. But they have a real opportunity here, right? They can get back on track in January. They kick off a 5-game homestand tonight on ESPN against the Heat. They have 11 of their next 12 games at Crypto.com Arena. So, Mr. Wilbon, LeBron James is now 39 years old. He's playing at an all-NBA level.
Yes,
Anthony Davis is playing some of the best basketball of his career, right, averaging like 30 and 10 over his last 10 games with the Lakers. They're still the definition of an average team, though. So what needs to happen for LA to get back?
Hello, Rob Pelinka. Aren't we going back to where we were last year? They're not good enough. How about that old-fashioned answer? The Lakers aren't good enough. Not in this Western Conference. You have just the difference between last year and this. Minnesota and Oklahoma City alone make it different. So the Lakers are he's going to have to do this again. I don't know that you can remake. And so you coming to me, I'm going to go straight to Woj to ask, Woj, are we talking a one-player move here? Are we talking a remake? What can Rob Pelinka do for a second consecutive pre-trade deadline move?
Well, last year it was multiple players, and it built out their depth and their versatility. And I think ultimately it's probably that again. I don't know that one player is out there who puts them necessarily over the top. You look at the depth with the teams they're trying to beat in Denver, the rising teams in Oklahoma City, certainly Minnesota. But I think this is a team, and who's available? Who's going to be available, and what assets do you have to trade? And I know people bring up, certainly Zach LaVine a lot. He'll be back from his injury soon. But we have a new salary cap, and we have a world where paying 3 max-level players, it makes it really different to have a roster around them. You've seen that in Phoenix. They're really threading the needle here with the Lakers. But 11 of their next 12 at home, they might feel a lot different about themselves by the end of this month, and maybe what exactly it is they need than how they view it right now coming off, a couple tough road trips.
I mean, they've been gone forever. Like, they just have not been home.
First half of the season?
The whole first half. So it's going to get better just being at home. But why did they win last year after the trade deadline? Because their defense got really good. And you just put that graphic up, they're 21st in defense. That's not how you win. And they've made changes to that starting lineup to just emphasize defense. They tried to put their defensive stalwarts in there, and it hasn't necessarily translated on the court yet. Rui Hachimura started last game, injured his calf, and then they put Austin Reeves in there for the second half. But I think they just need to get back to what they did well last year after the trade deadline, which was play defense.
Well, I think they were banking on, though, doing that with this same group, and potentially that isn't working out up till this point. So if they don't make a move, Perk, what is the ceiling for this group?
A first-round exit. They don't have a choice. They have to make a move. The Lakers are too slow. Speed is what they need. And We last year, we took for granted what Dennis Schroeder brought to the table. Okay, he's gone. They basically replaced him with Gabe Vincent. He's been unhealthy. D'Angelo Russell, he's too slow. Them characteristic dumb turnovers he have. But here's the thing. I know a lot of people, we look at Zach LaVine, and he hasn't had his best run in the Chicago Bulls uniform, especially with the money that he's been paid, but he also haven't been under LeBron James' wing. And when you look at a guy like Kyrie Irving hasn't been the same since he left LeBron.
Right.
But when he was with LeBron, we were seeing the best version of Kyrie Irving, not only being box office, but actually winning games, competing for championships. And it goes the same for a guy like J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert. Like, when you get in that locker room with LeBron James, your mindset changes, your mentality changes. Hell, we saw it with Rui Hachimura just last year. He's been working out with Braun. A team like the Washington Wizards gave up on. So I still believe that they got to make that move to get faster at the guard perimeter position, knowing that you got to go against a De'Aaron Fox, knowing that you got to go against a SGA, knowing that you got to go against a Jamal Murray, knowing that they have so many fast guards in the West, they got to do something.
Well, you brought